All right. Today is the 18th of May, 2017. This is our 126th call. I'm Tim Yandel. I'm the CEO of All the Leads, and I'm playing host today. Jim and Chad are both in Washington, D.C., holding down the fort at the NAR show up there, and Chad has taken a step away from the booth today and joined us on the call, and he'll be taking your questions. And I believe Tom is on here as well, but I don't see him yet, so if you're here, Tommy, I'll look for you in a minute. Chad, would you like to say anything before we get rolling?
Yeah, I'll just remind everybody that Probate Mastery was moved because I booked it over this event and I decided to move that. So Probate Mastery is starting Monday. We're running it Monday, Tuesday, Wednesday of next week to try a different format. So we'll do 3 days in a row at 2 p.m. So if you want to be part of that, even if you're alumni, if you've already done Probate Mastery and you want to join us, you can do that. Or if you haven't taken Mastery and you want to sign up, check. You should have gotten a couple emails last week. You can always look in your subscriber portal on the left, look under Training and Probate Mastery. You can sign up there. And for anybody who might be coming if you're at the DC show, we're in booth number 826 at the mid-year in DC.
All right, that's great, and I'm going to give you a little commercial here as well. The training that Chad offers is not just something that is something you should consider as optional. It's something you definitely ought to do if you plan to make this a serious part of your business, and we certainly encourage you to do that. Probate is a great way to make money, and the issue that I would raise here is that we've done a lot of statistical analysis of our customer base, and it is quite obvious that the folks who do, in fact, sign up for the training are significantly more successful. And what I mean by that is that they stick around longer, they've continued to be customers longer, and we're certain that they wouldn't be continuing to purchase leads and grow their business if they weren't being successful. And so we know that it's a good thing, and pretty much we teach you everything you possibly could want to know about probate in that class, and Chad does a great job, so I encourage you to consider doing that. Tom, I see you are on here. Would you like to say a few words of wisdom before we get started?
Sure. Just real quick, I want to remind everybody, we mentioned last week that I'm kind of playing a little bit of a new role as a account manager as part of our team, and my objective is to contact our customers, see how things are going, and determine if there's other things that we can do to help you be more successful. So you will be getting calls from me if you haven't already, and I usually send out a follow-up email with some questions and things. So all of your input is greatly valuable to all of us.
All right.
And return your voicemails.
There you go. Yep. All right. Well, I'm going to go ahead and get us started with folks. Again, if you're looking to chat with us, press *6 and then 1, and you'll hop in the queue. We already have 3 in the queue, and we're going to go ahead and take the first person in the queue right now. That is ending in 6997. Go ahead.
Hey, this is Jeff Shear. I have a miracle to report. I've had
a miracle?
4 people call. Yeah, a miracle. 4 people from the probate mailings call me this week. One of them was not anything that I could get involved with, but the other 3 are looking pretty good. It was great to be able to take a client who might buy a multi-million-dollar commercial property to a property that it was not listed and say, gee whiz, look at here. We can get a hold of this one for you if you'd like to. So, man, it is feeling good. Thanks so much.
Well, that's great, awesome. We appreciate you hopping on. Go ahead, Chad.
How many letters did you send out to get 4 callbacks?
Well, I think we've done we're pushing towards 10 total mailings.
Okay. But on this campaign, like how many were in that batch that you sent out?
In that batch, this is Prince William, so I think there's probably a total of 100.
Okay.
In
that's
2
good.
batches.
That's a 4% response rate. It's phenomenal in direct mail. Good job.
Yeah. So it's it's like I said, it's nice to have the phone ringing. It's nice to be able to take somebody who wants to buy something and say it's not on the market yet. It's nice to have a young guy call me up and say, I just inherited this monster piece of commercial property and I haven't got a clue where to start. Help me out. Yeah. So works nice.
Well, that's great, man.
All right. That's super, and that's a great observation about the the effectiveness of the mailing. I mean, our process is pretty simple, and we always encourage people pretty much to do the same thing. Send out your letters, follow up with a phone call, and the people who are highly motivated to begin with are going to call you to start with. So that's great testimonial, and we appreciate hearing from you. Thank you so much. All right. Going to put you back on mute and let you listen there. The next caller that we have, and folks, it's *6 and 1 to get in the queue. Last four digits of your phone number are 2510. Go ahead. $2510. Go ahead. All right, we're going to put you back on hold and come back for you in a minute. Last four digits are 1800. 1800. You go ahead. Hello. Well, we're not having any luck there.
Is this operator error?
I don't think so. I got one right. I figured I'd get the rest right. Let me click the other one and see if we can get him up there. Let's try 2510 again. Mr. Pierce, are you there? Hello? Hello? Oh, somebody came in. Hold on. 1800, are you there? South Shore?
Yes.
There you go. How about that?
Hi.
Go ahead.
How are you?
No problem.
I don't know what to do. I'm at a total loss. I just happened to call in today. And I want to know, okay, I've done the video. I don't think I have any leads yet. I'm totally confused.
Okay, so where did you start? You did the fast track training?
I did.
And how it went through step by step by step, telling you what to do in what order? That you just not.
It's just.
Do you
not
need something
now.
other than video to walk you through?
Yes.
Okay.
Because when I'm doing it with video, of course you probably I'm very visual, but when I'm doing it with video, because I'm not actually doing it, it's let me see, my leads weren't supposed to come in until this week, I believe. This week my leads come in, so I didn't have anything to really work with.
Okay, perfect. Well, so you don't have to give out all your information on the call. Can you email support@alltheleads.com, and Tom can reach out to you and take care of you one-on-one. That's one of the things that we do. We realize not everybody's going to learn the same way, so we'd be happy to reach out and kind of walk you through the system in a way that works for you.
Okay, I do have another question.
Okay.
When I was targeting a specific area, so I do want to change that area because I kind of work in a different area now. I can do that, am I correct?
Well, we give you information at the county level. So are you saying that do you want to target a different county than you signed up for?
Yes.
Okay. You can do that, but you're still going to get the leads for the initial county order because we've already hired a researcher and sent them out to get that data. So you'll get that first county for this month. If you want to switch, you can just let make that part of your support ticket. Just let us know which county you'd like to switch to.
Okay. That's what I want to do. Okay, so these meetings are every Wednesday?
These meetings are every Thursday at 1 o'clock Eastern.
Every Thursday.
And then the first Wednesday of each month, we do a role play call, and that's on at 2 p.m. Eastern.
Role play at 2 p.m. and on Wednesdays role play is at 2 p.m. Thursdays it's what is this called? What's this particular?
This is our probate mastermind call. And excuse me, a truck just pulled up. I thought I found the one quiet corner of DC, but I guess not.
Okay.
But this is a probate mastermind call, and it's every Thursday at this time, and you can find that on our calendar, and you also get email invites. And the same way with the role play call. It's on our calendar, and we will email you the day before and the day of.
Okay. Okay, thank you so much.
Yep,
Let me just ask a quick question. You had said, you're kind of confused about what to do next, and your leads are coming, and obviously we do encourage you to, let Tom reach out to you and get you rolling. But what are you finding right now that is the most of concern to you? Are you just not sure what to do next? Is that really what your concern is?
The intimidation is getting started because I don't know what to do. I'm kind of like, I'm sure you've heard of Michael Jackson. Everybody really thought that he was a genius, but he was only a genius because he practiced over and over and over again. He was actually, like, when he learned it, he was rather ignorant in the learning portion of it, but because of practice, he got better. That's why I am. I have to get started, and once I get started and I do the repetitive portion of it, I get good.
Well, kudos to you for you're going to be successful, and the reason I'll say that is this. A lot of people wouldn't say what you just said, and I kind of heard that in your voice, and that's why I asked you the question. I mean, the road to knowledge is first learning what you don't know, and you're correct about practice making perfect. And so I really appreciate you putting it exactly the way you put it, and we'll be glad to get you pointed in the right direction, and the role play call will help you. And I will also, though, tell you this, that the only way that you're really going to get this going is to get you rolling and get you some letters ready to go out based on the leads that are coming in. When the leads get there, you need to have your letters ready to go. So if you haven't done that, Tom will work with you and point you towards Mark, who will help you with that process as well. But you're going to just have to learn by doing. There's not a preliminary academy here. It's kind of an on-the-job apprenticeship. But talking to these people, and Chad will certainly tell you this, he's really good at helping people understand about how to lead with value. And Chad, just say a little bit about that, and then we're going to let her kind of get on her way and take another couple of questions.
Yeah, so I just had this conversation with a couple that I met here at the show that they've seen my stuff online and looked me up, and they were so excited that it was so different than the other probate stuff that they had been exposed to. And it's really, guys, I mean, anything, the folks who really excel at this is you got to have a servant's heart and kind of a provide value first mindset, and really make it about them and not about you and commission checks. And so as you're going through this and getting started, think, what situation are they in and what value can I bring to make that easier or take all that stress away from them? And then just start implementing, just take action. So don't get yourself in a position where you plan, but never do. Just start doing. And exactly what you were talking about, it probably wasn't the practice that made Michael Jackson so good. It was probably the experience. And just pick up the phone and start failing forward. You're never going to be perfect at it unless you get started. But it's really having that servant's approach. So I'm going to build a team behind me. There's no reason somebody in this situation could call me where I couldn't provide value. And just do it one step at a time.
Well, I'm doing it one step at a time, and I understand the procedure and the process. I've been doing this for a little while, and the initial part is, well, I've already taken a huge step because I've already put out money, and I have confidence in you all. That's the first step. The second step is you can't blame anyone else for you not being successful. You can thank people for your success, but you can't blame anyone for not being successful. So when I initially started this, I had no money. So I said, I'm not going to invest because I don't know how I'm going to get it back. So because I've been doing this for 10 years, guess what I've done? I made the investment, and I still have no money. So it was the action of going out and actually do it. So I'm actually doing it.
All right. Well, send that support ticket, support@alltheleads.com.
I will.
And we will make sure that you get set up and get started.
Okay, thank you so much. I appreciate your time.
Absolutely, we appreciate yours. And, again, compliments to you on having a great attitude about it for sure, because that's half the battle to begin with. It's just great. And we'll certainly be looking forward to helping you. And
I'm not afraid of failing because that's how you succeed. You have to know what you're not supposed to do in order to succeed.
There you go. All right. Well, we'll do that. We're going to take the next caller in line here, and keep
Okay.
on rolling. And we appreciate it. We'll look forward to hearing back from you soon.
Okay, thank you so much.
All righty. Bear with me a second. Our next caller is ending in 2835.
Hello. Oh, I think you muted him back out, Tim.
Are you unmuted now? Hello?
There you go.
There he is. You're
There
live.
you go. Stop pushing that button, dang on you.
Hey, we just don't want to hear you. Can't you tell? Take the hint.
Hey, David Cole's here. I'm in Pittsburgh. I just wanted to share a couple of quick things with you. Before this last volley of conversation, I thought, everybody was sending letters and waiting for these letters to come back and that sort of thing. I want to share that I don't send letters. I'm an old head. I'm what they call a porch climber. So I knock on people's doors cold, but I don't do that here. I just call them cold and ask them real simple. Are you the person in charge of the estate for Susan Jones or whatever? And let them talk away. If they ask me what I'm doing, I tell them I'm looking for property in the area. And I want to add also that, people who are angry are going to be angry. People who are nice are going to be nice. It's not you. You're just going to run into a bunch of different people. And lastly, I want to share the fact that I have a smartphone, and I got an app called Call Center Pro, which is a predictive dialer. So I download the CVS, CSV, or whatever it is, the Excel kind of thing, and email it to myself, pick it up from the email into this dialer, and it dials the next one automatically, which is very helpful for me because you can always sit around and wait to pick up the phone and dial it again. So this program actually dials the next number. So
what's the name of that again?
I'm sorry?
What's the name of the app again?
Call Center Pro. I sent Jim an email on it the other day, and possibly I don't like the way it comes up because I haven't been able to put all the information I want to come up because it gives you a place to leave notes and when to call them back and so on. So for the $22 is what it costs, and it proved to be worth the money.
All right. Well, that's great.
But maybe your computer guru may be able to reverse engineer it and get it out or whatever. I don't know. But that's all I have. That's all I got.
And David, are you an investor or are you also licensed?
I'm neither. I'm considering myself a bird dog. I'm just going out and trying to find properties that are and find motivated sellers. And I've got a list of people who are buyers, and I just try and put them together.
Okay. Do you have a good relationship with a listing agent in your market?
Yes, I do. Yeah.
Okay. I think
I'm one class away. I'm sorry. Go ahead.
So you'll have to find out by not having a real estate license, you'll have to figure out what the compensation agreement is and how you can get paid for those, but you are stepping over opportunities by not suggesting that, anything other than just buying the home, like just,
right.
So there are listing referral opportunities in there. If you get a real estate license, hang it with a referral broker. It's usually, $100 a transaction or whatever. But
right. Well,
that would allow you to.
What I use now is a bird dog agreement that I got from Bigger Pockets, and I charge 2% or $3,000 to put you in the into a property.
Right, and that works fine for the investment community, but there's a lot of opportunity in this list for the realtor community. So if you're already being the initial point of contact, then you can offer them something other than, it's not everybody's gonna sell for a price that an investor will pay. But the ones who, the 80% that are going to list conventionally or sell conventionally, you can get those over to a realtor that you trust and figure out a compensation agreement with that agent or broker.
Right.
And you
Right.
can make a lot more money yourself on this.
Well, I'm one class away from finishing my real estate prelims that I have to do, and then sit for the board. I come from the insurance business, and I got a bad taste in my mouth about licensure for you guys. Just a piece of information, but I decided I'm going to go ahead and finish that up and get my license. I think you're right. There's a lot of business that I'm leaving behind.
Yeah. I mean, you got kudos to you, man. You got a great mindset, and it sounds like you're doing it. You're taking action. So you're bound to be stepping over dollars in the process of finding those acquisitions. You're stepping over a lot of listings.
But I am stepping though. So
that's the thing. And what I think this call also points out is the fact that there's more than one way to skin a cat, and we've got people doing this every way from Sunday. We've got folks who are doing exactly what you're doing, who get their list and go out and pound the pavement and do what they can to get it done or make phone calls. We've got other people who approach this very scientifically and, get the letters out regularly and follow up with them, and they have a team of people that are just dialing. And any way that you do this works. And again, this kind of goes back to the previous caller. Getting started is what makes this work. There are opportunities all through this, not just to deal with a particular property that may be involved, but one of the things that you'll learn in Chad's Mastermind training is the fact that there are opportunities within the opportunity. There's a brand building opportunity. There's an opportunity to become known for what you're doing, build a brand awareness as being the probate guy in your community. And there are just lots of things here that can get going. And we haven't even talked about how to deal with the attorneys on the list or anything else. And those are things you're going to learn in that class. But you keep on doing what you're doing, and we'll look forward to hearing from you soon with more success. We've got some other folks in the queue. Did we get you squared away for now?
Yes, sir. Thank you very much. Have a great one.
Thank
All
you,
right, you too. We appreciate it. All right, I'm going to try to see if I can get this without turning somebody off. The last four digits are 1189. Belinda.
Hey, how you doing? Can you hear me?
I can hear you fine.
Okay, yeah, just actually was a comment because I found it rather interesting that the gentleman that just got a phone call mentioned that he just gets on the phone and start calling, and I had said I was going to start doing that because actually as I had started calling people after sending a letter, I had such call reluctance I would call maybe a week after I know they had received the letter finally, and quite often people, they didn't remember if they got a letter from me or not, and I was like, well, because they got so many. And they probably had gotten to some point where they didn't even read them, the ones they got. So, just kudos to the guy that just mentioned that, he actually just picked up the phone and called, and I think I said this week that I was going to start to call first and then send a letter, based on kind of the responses you're getting from the calls. But, with some people, they absolutely are not going to sell. And, it doesn't have anything to do with where they are in the probate process or anything. They just don't believe in selling the property. They're going to keep it, for the family. But so it's more of a comment than anything else.
I think the important thing to remember is you go back to the first caller that we had today, and, he sent his letters out, and yeah, that's fine. We had the first caller who called in today. He began our call today by saying, he'd sent his letters out, and out of 100 letters that he sent out, he already had 4 conversations, 3 of which he felt were going to lead to listing. So there's no universal rule here, and the whole premise of the letter is 2 things. First, it's to help you sort through the list a little bit and get the low-hanging fruit that might wake you up, and if you just inherited the property, maybe get you off the dime to go do something. The second part of it is it does give you, if you've got some call reluctance, a potential reason to be making that call, even if they haven't, don't remember the letter. That's a good way to have you give you a reason to call back. But certainly do something. Like Chad said before, we have too many people who unfortunately get their leads, and we call them waiting for the tooth fairy. They put them under their pillow and hope they're going to get rich, and that doesn't work well. So, get started, and you're going to find your way home with this, we're sure.
Okay, because I found that actually calling is absolutely necessary. Because at one point, I had such call reluctance. I was like, well, let me just send a letter at least. And, you have to do 6 touches or so with a person with a letter or some kind of mail out. And I have yet to have someone call me back just, purely from a letter. So you really have to get on the phone somehow, convince yourself to get on that phone and start making calls. And it seems to me once you get on there and get through the first 2 or 3 calls, then you get a little momentum, a little comfort going. Then it gets easier. It's just that first call or 2 that's really a stumbling block.
It's like anything else,
For
you
sure.
try it a few times. Yep. Try it a few times and you'll get there. Okay, Belinda, well, we appreciate it. We've got other folks in the line here. I'm going to go ahead and get to them. We appreciate it. You have a great day, and go knock them dead.
Sure. Yeah, I want to hear what they got to say too. Okay. Sure.
All righty. Let's see. The next person in line is 6543. Go ahead.
Okay, so hi, this is Janika Williams, and I just got my list last week, and I was going kind of scrubbing the list yesterday and kind of looking through and just kind of checking some of the addresses for the deceased, and I found that more than half of those homes were already sold. So should I send a letter to those homes or the PR?
Probably not. I mean, there are ways that you can help those folks, but if they've already sold the home, I mean, you can get them to, your financial advisor to help them and reinvest the proceeds of the estate. You might be able to help them purchase another home. I wouldn't send the typical letters that we send that say, we can help you sell the real estate. You may send them a more generic, almost like a buyer's marketing, farming campaign. So, did you know that the average rent in our zip code is X amount? Or have you thought about owning investment property? What market are you in?
Denver.
Okay, that's why. Denver is a super competitive investor market, and we find that many of the people sell before the death even occurs because it's so easy and you can sell for such a high price.
That's what I was finding. I was looking up the death, and the death was like 30 days ago, and the house is already sold. So I'm like,
so your market is certainly an outlier. Like, that's one where it really pays to know the probate attorneys. So one thing you can do with that list is sort it by attorney name, and what you're going to find is there's probably a half a dozen or more on there that have multiple files each month, and it's worth dropping by their office to introduce yourself because the investors are so competitive in that market. Like, if you the attorneys are one of the initial contact points with the family, so if they know and trust your offer, then they can give you that kind of referral or the endorsement earlier than you could get to the family yourself. So
that's what I was wondering. I'm like, you would have to have a relationship like with an attorney or somebody ahead of time because they've already, I mean, I think 40 something out of the 81, I got 81 leads, 40 something of them were already sold within like the last 40 something days.
So we did some research on Arapahoe County and Weld County, which are adjoining counties to you, and we found it was very similar. So however, the agent that was so helpful with tracking every single thing he did, after 3 months, the deal started rolling in. He went 3 months with nothing, and then he listed 6 houses in a week and made a lot of money. I mean, because his median price was a high, I think 3s or 4s. So it seemed like it wasn't working. Like, they're all sold, but think about any lead type. I mean, there's really 2 in 100 that you're going to monetize. You're going to close about 2% of your business. I had closer to 6. Most people are going to have around 2. So don't let that discourage you. If you look at 150 sold, great. That means I have to do half the work. There's still 2 in there that I'm going to list. And just try to focus on that and supplement your marketing by knowing the estate, knowing the probate attorneys and meeting people at nursing homes, the director of marketing, the program coordinators. Know those people that have early contact with families. So beat them at their own game. Like, get to them before, in that end of life phase. Estate sale companies, senior moving companies, homes. You can be aggressive and get to know those people, help them understand what you can do for the families in transition, and earn those referrals before it ever becomes public record. And it's a great way to supplement what we're doing here. It won't ever replace it. There's always, it's kind of a 2-prong approach. You definitely want to do what you're doing now and use our system, but it can really supplement it.
Okay, perfect. And then my second question was, do you guys know anything as far as data as it relates to El Paso County, which is another county you guys have on the website that's about 40 minutes from here?
As far as what the price and count?
know anything about, has any other agents worked that county? It seems like on your website you said you get about 50 leads a month in El Paso County, which is the county I used to live in 3 years ago.
I don't think we do have anybody. I can't remember anybody that's in El Paso, and I have a pretty good pulse on who our customers are, but I don't think we have anyone there.
Yep, I don't think we do either.
You can, if you want to know what the pricing and lead count is, you can email support and just say, hey, send me the counts and lead price for this county, and we'll check into it for you.
Okay, I'll do that today.
All right.
Thank you so much.
Yeah, thank you.
All right, that's great. Well, we appreciate it, and we'll look forward to hearing back from you as well, and we'll keep on moving along here. We've got one more person in the queue, and we'll take that in just a second. I'm going to say one more time, if you have a question to ask, it is *6 and 1. We're about to the end. It's already past 1:30, but we're going to see if we need – no, I guess we took the last call that we had, so everyone appears to have dropped off. We don't have anybody else in the queue that we haven't spoken with. If anybody else has anything, I'm going to give you 5 seconds to jump in the queue, *6 1, and there comes somebody. So we're going to take your call. We'll be the last one. It is ending in 7415. And there's another one. Okay, I hate begging and being successful. Go ahead.
I just had a question. I just got my first set of leads, and I was looking through them, and not all of the contacts that are in there, both on the personal representative side and the deceased side, are in the county that I'm in. So I'm just questioning that. Should that be something should be concerned? In fact, some of them are not even in the same state.
So it means that typically you file probate in the county that you lived in when you pass away. If you owned assets in other counties, some states, like if you owned a vacation home, you need to file probate there as well. So it's something that when we get I find the common, people try to extract the whole story from looking at a spreadsheet. And really the best way to learn this and figure out what's happening specifically in your market is introduce yourself as somebody who can help and ask good questions and find out what the story is. You never know what you're going to uncover, even though they might not be local addresses on your spreadsheet. You can uncover opportunities like Jeff at the beginning of the call, a big commercial listing. If he were looking at residential addresses and trying to figure it all out before he made a phone call, he would have overlooked that. But there was a big commercial listing sitting in there. So I encourage you not to spend too much time trying to draw patterns out of the data, because the best way to do it is to do what we do best. And I'm assuming you're a people person because of the industry you chose. Just pick up the phone and learn about the people and the situation and find ways you can help. And you'll be surprised how many different types of opportunities are in there that you would have never have seen from the few data points that you have.
All right, perfect. That's all. That was my question.
All right, awesome. We've got 2 more people in the queue, and we'll stick around and get those done, and we'll certainly finish them up before the call is over. Last 4 digits, 2510.
Good morning.
Hey there.
Can you hear me okay?
Yes, hear you just fine. Go right ahead.
Okay, a question on regard to attorneys. Is it amiss to send a letter of introduction to the attorneys on the list of probates?
We find that it's not nearly as effective. Phone calls and mail aren't nearly as effective as office visits. And with a couple of years of experience coaching people and hearing feedback what worked and what didn't, without a doubt, office visits are the way that you actually build your attorney network. So we've had people that it was as easy as stopping by and the attorney dropped what he was doing and spent 10 minutes with. And the other extreme is we've had people who have actually paid $200 for a billable hour to sit down and really have them listen to them. It depends on, the attorneys in your market and how busy they are and what the culture is. But I would encourage you to, and if you look in our Facebook group, which is All Leads Mastermind, there's a trifold brochure, maybe even a couple of versions that people have shared with each other that you can use as kind of the conversation starter. But drop by and say something like, hey, we've been handling more and more probate deals, and I keep seeing you guys pop up, so I thought we should know each other. We're obviously, helping the same we're working in the same niche and helping the same people, and I just thought we should know each other. Does Attorney Jones have 5 minutes to spend? And when you meet Attorney Jones, you want to focus on what can you do for him or her. So how can you make them comfortable that you've got the family's best interest in mind? You can take a lot of the workload off of the family or off of their desk, and you can get those files closed quicker. Because a lot of times a probate attorney works for a flat fee, not hourly. And it's different in different states. They can bill by the hour in some states. But so show them how you can protect the family, get property sold faster and for the most amount of money, and they'll be really interested in what you have to say, because there's not many real estate agents who will go the extra mile to do what we're talking about here. And what we find is the attorneys are really impressed when they do meet an agent that has such a wide scope of service that's really aimed at their everyday clients.
Okay.
Thank
Great
you.
answer. All right. Good enough. We got one more person in the queue, and we'll take them, and we'll call it a day here. If I can get this to go. There we go. That would be ending in 9363. You're up.
Hello, I'm here. Can you hear me okay?
I can hear you just fine.
Great. My name is Al. We're just starting out with this. I'm partnering with my daughter. She's a broker. I'm an agent. And we just received our first group of leads and set up the postcards to go out Monday. My question is, what's the average lead time? Do these postcards go out from Florida, or where are they sent out? And what's the arrival date usually from the mail date? And what do you suggest for an initial phone call after the mailing?
Okay, I'm going to answer your mailing questions first. Yes, unless you ask them to be done differently, they will come from Florida. That's where our mail center is, so they get sent out from there. We literally drop them directly into the postal sorting center, so they get into the system as quick as possible once we finish with them. Typically, you're 2 to 3 days delivery to get them in people's hands. When did you say they were going out?
This coming Monday.
Okay, so if they drop on Monday, your folks should start receiving them no later than Thursday, Friday at the latest, so you can certainly feel comfortable reasonably starting on Friday. But the other thing to remember is that you will receive a copy of anything that we mail for you. We send you a copy as well, so watch your own mail. When you've got it, you know they've got it.
Okay, great. And then has there been any research on how quick a follow-up? Do you strike immediately when that mail may be fresh in their minds, or any information on that?
Well, Chad will certainly answer that as well, but I would tell you that if you think that they got it in the course of a day, getting to them the next couple of days, the next day if possible, it's freshest in their mind. It doesn't stay top of mind long, and that's the whole point of doing it. So as soon as you've got your notification that you received it, you know your customers have received it. The next day you need to be dialing for dollars.
Very good.
Chad, do you agree with that?
I do. So my schedule was order mail on Thursday, mail drops on Friday, phone calls the following Wednesday. So we were, mail should have gotten there on Monday or Tuesday, and we were placing calls on Wednesday and Thursday. And we went on appointments on Fridays. So that
Very
was,
good.
We were usually 1 or 2 days after the letter.
Okay, and I'm fine with that. I am the caller, so I'm looking forward to it.
All right, that's great. And we had one more person that hopped in, and we will make this the last person that we take. And Donna, if you'd like to go ahead, 6285, last 4 digits. Hang on a second. I didn't see it pop up where you should be. There you go.
Thank you. I was somebody muted me again. This is Donna in Denver, and I missed most of the call today. I'm showing property in pouring rain, but I was on last week, and I wanted to give a call back because we didn't have a good connection. And I wanted to say that, as a realtor, I subscribe to all sorts of different venues, from leads and marketing and lead management and different types of tools. And I've never seen a company that reaches out like you guys do. You're always available. You return emails promptly. If I have technical issue, you call right away, or somebody gets back to me, and I'm very appreciative of that. The reason I wanted to get back on the call this week was last week there were several people that were asking about, can the CRM do this and can it do that and can we change things around? And I just want to let everybody know, most people probably do know already, this is just a tool. It's just a tool in your toolbox. It's not the end-all, be-all. Your price point for what you deliver every month to me is worth its weight in gold. I don't even look at the CRM. I don't do anything with it but order the mailers. And I have other pieces that do that part. I have Mojo Dialer, which does all my calling, and you know, I use that more for a CRM. But I use you guys to give me the information that I'm too lazy to go spend my hours and days at a courthouse to gather. And, you know, download all your leads into an Excel spreadsheet. And the one gentleman that was saying it's difficult to figure out how I'm supposed to move them around and make the calls I need to make. Well, if they're on a spreadsheet, you can categorize them any which way you want. So I think just to think outside of the box and use these for really what they are is it's the information, the name and the number, and then try to figure out other ways to organize them or keep track of them, I think, is really what I want to say. But other than that, I have no complaints. I think your information is fabulous and the calls are wonderful, and I appreciate all the business and the opportunity.
Well,
So
we couldn't appreciate you more.
As the owners of these companies, gold for us is what you just gave us. Like that, there's nothing I enjoy more about this than those comments. So, or those compliments. Thank you so much for sharing.
You're very welcome. It's very rare in this industry to get people to respond to anything once they collect your credit card, and I'm well aware that I spend over $3,000 a month with Realtor.com and another couple thousand with Zillow, and it's like pulling teeth to get anybody to respond to you. Once they get your credit card, it's like, okay, one and done, on to the next one. You guys haven't done that, and I'm very appreciative of that.
Well, we try to keep you around. We want to continue to have you being successful so that you continue to help us stay in business providing what you're doing. And if you're not being successful, you're not going to do that. So we're taking care of ourselves and doing it the best way we can for you. And like Chad said, we couldn't ask for a better way to end up our call for the day, and that will do it for today. I will say this, Jim, Chad, do you want to offer anything else other than that? I'm going to try and give the standard Jim Sullivan benediction.
Oh, you're gonna do it. All right, I'll grade you.
Oh, I'll let you do it if you were ready. I mean, I love doing it, but you do it. Go ahead.
No, I just want to say thanks so much, guys. We had a great bunch of comments and questions today, and I love that this has become a true mastermind. It's you know, it's not a mislabeled call where people come, like where we come and talk about ourselves. So thank you guys so much for bringing your wins and your problems and your questions and being transparent and stepping up so we can all learn from it. Like, this is huge for everybody. And as in the words of the infamous Jim Sullivan, take one thing that you heard here today, one thing that inspired you, an idea that you got, put it into action, and come back next week and share the success story. Thanks so much, and make it a great day. I think I got it.
Yeah, well played, buddy. Well played. You guys have a great week, and get back with us next week. So, talk to you soon. Bye now.